folks, I'm Kyle and this is Mary Kate. Welcome to our channel. For those of you that are new to the channel, we are all about taking an adventure with our family. We are parents of 7 and we went out and bought an RV so we could go on an extensive road trip to see the American West, the great national parks that are out that way, and we're bringing you with us.
Yeah.
This week we're going from our campground outside of Bryce Canyon National Park in Cannonville, Utah, up to Moab, Utah, so we can go to ARCHES National Park.
Right.
One lesson you'll see here, as you drive from Bryce to Moab, there's a stretch of I-70 where there's like no gas stations, no food for about 80 or 100 miles.
Great views,
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah, beautiful views. You're in like a
Yes.
mountain pass. Maybe.
So my 2 tips for that would be fill up your gas tank,
Yeah.
like all the way, top it off, and fill up everyone's stomachs and top those off, because we were smart about the gas and really not smart about the food.
Yeah, and that hurt. You know, we got pretty hungry by the time we landed, and kids were melting down.
Adults were melting down.
Yeah.
I was melting down. It was not a good scenario, and it was kind of stupid on our part because people had warned us, but I think we just didn't realize how long that was.
The distance isn't so bad. I think it's 260 miles. So, but in an RV, that's still probably 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it hit. You know, we missed lunchtime, and I think, you know, we had a video where we talked about you got to make sure people are fed well when you're camping, when you're traveling, and we did better on something, you know, making sure you have good, healthy protein snacks. Yeah. But this time we missed it. And
We just blew it on this one.
And so you'll see we ended up going fast food at Arby's, which not all of us like and can have. Some of us are gluten-free and can't have it.
So I'll just, hot tip.
Yeah.
Don't try getting anything at Arby's if you have celiacs or have to eat gluten-free, because you won't find anything. But we did. This was the one time I feel like Google reviews really knocked it out of the ballpark for us.
Yeah.
Because we just quickly had to search for what food was in the area. And there was really nothing. I mean, you'll just see no rest stop for 105 miles or something like that. And they literally mean not just no rest stop.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
But I think, on the plus side, we found 2 good things. I think one, found a food truck, a Mexican tacos burrito. It was a food truck.
Yeah, it was
Mexican food.
It was just parked in an abandoned gas station.
Yeah.
And they had tons of people there, and that was the Google review we had found, and we thought, oh, what the heck, gluten-free, because it was all corn tortillas.
Yeah.
It was just really good, just really, really good food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Arby's because that's where the kids went, and I was very jealous of you who got the food truck tacos. I think carnitas or something like that. They were really good.
Yeah.
And I got Arby's.
Yeah. So I think that's worth it too. Just take a chance on local food recommendations when you get that many people saying this is amazing, this is really good.
Yeah.
Even we were a little kind of eyeing it as we walked up because it's in the middle of a podunk town, abandoned gas station. Didn't look real promising, but it blew us out of the water, I think, on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing I'd say is, and then we found just a great city park. That's something to look for. If you need a place to stop, usually your camper's got your food. You just need some space. And city parks like this one had a picnic pavilion.
Like a pavilion, a roofed pavilion. So it took the edge. It was hot, but as long as you're in some shade, you
and it's some room to spread out, get everybody out of the car.
Right.
Give them 35, 45 minutes to just have some elbow room and spread out and have their lunch and run around a little bit.
Right.
So that's another thing, city parks are great for that, and definitely watch out for them. We've been in small towns and they'll have a park by a lake or by a river, and you just pull in there, and there's usually plenty of open spaces to park, and you can have your lunch and then get back on the road. And it's much better than eating in a gas station parking lot or a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, or a rest stop where especially, it's not just kids that have to get their yayas out. I think like adults need to stretch and walk around and, just generally feel a little bit like they're not confined for a while.
Hold on.
I saw that, yeah.
I'll take the chicken now.
Product placement. I'm going to try to get us some sponsorship. Eamon, say something really good about Arby's.
This portion of our show is brought to you
It's
by
delicious.
Arby's. We got the meat.
We're going to take a minute to talk about Squarespace. Do you have a small business that could use a really great website?
Regular French fries.
Squarespace is ideal for small businesses.
This guy's gonna win you.
You like it? On our channel.
Also, getting towed while you're eating your lunch. Here we are at the Moab KOA. We got William and Faith. Hi guys. What's your first thoughts on this KOA? What's your rating out of 10?
Solid 9.
And why do you say that?
Because so far as what I've seen, it has clean bathrooms.
Clean bathrooms?
And
Faith, do you have any
ladder
impressions so far?
wall, cornhole, and
It's really hot.
It's a hot KOA?
It's just hot out.
You.
Oh. Great.
Big as Jack.
Faith likes it. She thinks it's hot here, so that's good stuff. Okay, so in this episode, we finally make it up to ARCHES National Park in Moab, Utah.
Yeah, gorgeous.
We gorgeous, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the
Impressive, I think, is the word I would use. Like, just impressive. Like, it's just an impressive entrance, and it's just an impressive park. And I don't feel like it gets a lot of, like, people, like, I think Yellowstone, Grand Canyon, people talk about those all the time. They don't really, it's not that you don't know about ARCHES. I think it's just not something people talk about that much.
The drive-in is just so impressive. So you're driving up a road along these red cliffs, right up against it, a switchback, kind of a mountain road going up and up and up, and then you come out, and I think the park has probably 20 or 30 miles worth of drives that if you're not able to get out and hike, you could still visit this one and just see it all from your car, really.
Yeah, like, and there's so many like little like side
pull-offs,
and hopefully people aren't using them for parking, because a lot of people were, but you can just pull off. You can get some great photo ops. And it's like, it's a totally doable park for people who have limited mobility, I would say. Yeah.
And it's just so impressive. So we, again, the drive-in, those red cliffs, and then you drive further on, and there's a section called Wall Street that's just amazing. There's a parking lot there, some trails you could hike, and then just lots of other options. There's a ton of different arches that you can get to, and the hikes that we saw and the hikes we did, I think, were all pretty moderate. They were pretty level.
Yeah, that was surprising too. There was not a lot of inclines and stuff. It was pretty level. Yeah, not very shady. Bring a hat and sunscreen.
Yeah, I think one thing we did that was really smart was that we got there maybe at 7 a.m. This is another national park that's open 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So we drove right in. Gates weren't even, the gate workers weren't there yet. You just drive right in.
Yeah.
But it was already crowded, so you got to be really aware of that. But getting there at 7 let us, at least we found a parking spot
Right.
at the trail that we were going to, and we went out, and on the trail we went on, there were 3 or 4 arches that we got to see. And we went at 7 a.m. before the heat got too bad. I think by
Right.
the time we were done at like 10, it was starting to get warm.
But the park was closed too.
That's right, yeah. As we
When
were
we
leaving-
left, it was done. They weren't letting anyone else in.
Yeah, they'll do that there. They'll close the gates when it's full, and they'll just turn people away until enough people leave, I guess, that they can open it.
Right. So that was another tip that we didn't really think about too much. We just wanted to get there early because of the heat of the day, but it ended up working out for us. And this is not when we went stargazing for. We did go at sunset,
We did
which
go
was
back at
amazing.
sunset,
Also less crowded because people are leaving.
Yeah.
But I've heard that on a clear night, it's
Yeah.
one of the. I forget. There's a list in the U.S.
Dark
for like
sky.
dark sky, and this one makes it. And I can see how you really don't have a lot of obstruction. You have a
No.
lot of open sky.
Yeah, it definitely, you get a real sense of the wide open vastness of it. You'll see that in some of these videos, just very wide vistas. Yeah, we went back at night and did another trail out to the Delicate Arch, which is the one that is on the Utah license plate. So
I will say
everybody's
they
seen
make
that
this
one.
big deal about this on their license plate, and I kept saying, "Where is it? Which one?" And you kept pointing out, "It's that one. It's that one." And when we finally got to where we could see it, I thought, "That's it. There were so many more impressive arches that you could get really up close or even stand underneath, and this one was like, oh, it's delicate and it's an arch, but I didn't like." That's what I think is good when you get on the ground and you go and look, because what everyone else might love might not be what you find the most interesting. But I felt like literally I understood why they call that park arches, because
Yeah,
it was just
all it is.
yeah, and so many different things to learn too for the kids, like how one arch fell and how they can hear it before it
Yeah,
as it starts to crack.
yeah, that's pretty scary.
Good tip. Get out of the way.
Run like heck.
Yeah.
But the park was beautiful, amazing park. We went there a couple of times in one day, and I think we could still go back. There's many arches we didn't even get to see. You could easily,
It's a
spend
totally different
more
park.
time.
You can do the same
Yeah,
hike or almost the same hike, and it's a totally different park depending on what time of day you go,
Yeah.
which is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Arches National Park in Moab, Utah. So we stayed at the KOA in Moab, and there's Moab is a very booming little town. I think the national park industry has really helped that town boom.
Yeah, it's not geographically, I mean, the downtown area is not geographically, it's just literally almost one strip, and the KOA was off that at the end of one of the strips. So you drive through the downtown area to get to it. And there was a few other
Lots of
campgrounds and stuff, kind of going off of there. But I think, and it really starts, the downtown kind of starts with where the park entrance is. So you can turn off there, or you could just keep going through town. So I think it's definitely like sorry, but it's a millennial town. There was a lot of, I mean, everything I think is geared towards that. So there's a lot of social media walls for your pictures, great photo ops, and restaurants and bars.
Plenty to eat and drink. Lots, whatever your choice is. We saw lots. We got out and we had brunch, you and I, at a nice little restaurant there. And that was great. Like you said, they got those Instagram walls, so you can get your Instagram picture up.
I mean, that's all fun, and they have like morning stuff. So like, there's donut shops and stuff like that for your morning stuff, and then it turns to evening, and there's just like outfitters, like stores, a few outfitter stores. But I think is there only one grocery store? That we could find, there was only one grocery store, and it was well stocked. It was a nice grocery store, but it's definitely one of those things where you're at the mercy of whatever they're charging you or whatever they have in the store, kind of a thing.
Another tip, we found a hardware store in Moab where we picked up reflectix, which if you don't have that and you're going out to the southwest, it's this kind of bubble wrap,
like silvery bubble
silver reflective, like aluminum foil bubble wrap that you cut to the shape of your windows and put in your windows to reflect the heat out of your camper. And that was a lifesaver. It probably lowered the temp in the trailer by 10 degrees, 15 degrees. In that hot Utah sun.
There's no shade. At the campgrounds, there's just no shade. It's rocks. Desert and rocks.
Again, we're going to do an upcoming episode where we talk about all the different campgrounds we stayed at. But for sure, the ones in the southwest really just don't have shade. You're pretty much in the direct sun. So
and
you want to
take. There was people tent camping, which to me was, because it was like 100 degrees.
As they say about the desert, it cooled off at night. So those tent campers, if they waited till like 11 at night to go to bed, they would have been okay. But it was, I can't imagine in the middle of the day.
It's not. It's very unpleasant. Very unpleasant.
Very hot. Okay, folks. Again, we are Kyle and Mary Kate, and this is our channel, Adventures and Activities, all about our large family getting out on the road and seeing this beautiful country of ours. If you haven't, please take a minute to subscribe and like and share this video with your friends. And come back next week. And we're going to have another episode where we do that big review of all the campgrounds, and we'll give you our feedback on every place we stayed on this trip.
And we're also always happy to answer any questions you leave in the comment box. And we're on Instagram, and we're probably a little more interactive on there, but just because it's easier. But I think that's definitely, I'm sure we don't cover some things that people would like to know, and I'm sure we've forgotten some things. So
if you guys
ask away.
If you've got a big family, or you got kids, or you want to think about a multi-generational family trip, let us know. Thanks.
My own web show. My own web show. Everybody wanna know. My own web show. My own web show. My own web show. How will it go? My own web show. My own web show. My own web show. Everybody wanna know. My own web show. My own web show. My own web show. Adventures and activities. Healthy snacks.